G'day guys, Beer Healer here, back with another Brewie demonstration video. So you might have seen the whole unboxing and setup video I've already put onto YouTube and Facebook. So now it's time to do my first brew day. Now normally when you get a Brewie, I think you get like a brew pad, which is a brew kit, and the Brewie in the one thing. Mine came separately because they used a local Australian provider, Grain and Grape, to deliver the beer kit. So basically in your beer kit you get some already milled up grains. You get your yeast, fill instructions, and then in this case we've got our 4 hop additions all labelled for which hop basket they go into. Each of the hop baskets here have got a dot 1, 2, 3, 4 with what to put them in. And the beer that we're making today is the Rusty Rex American Amber Ale, which is one of the standard recipes that you have on the Brewie. And with your recipe kit you get this instruction just sort of describing the type of beer that you're going to be brewing. So I've hooked up everything for the Brewie system. I've got my water running in from the hose in through the back. It's coming through a filter which is leaking like a bastard, but that's okay. We've got that outside the shed. And all I've got to do now is press the button, and then we'll go through the steps of what I've got to do. So here we go. So we're brewing the Rusty Rex, which is the one that came in the kit, and then tells me press the button to brew. And set my brewing parameters, so automatic cooling and automatic water inlet. Yep, using that. Pretty easy. Press the start button. I've connected the hoses, which is good. We can click done and prepare the fermentables. So now I'll get the stuff ready to go and get into the brewing. So I'm preparing the fermentables. We've got to put in our false bottom, which comes with the kit. So we'll just sanitize that and put that in. We'll open up our kit bag here with our brew in a bag all ready to go in here. Grains all milled up, ready to rock and roll. They're looking great. So you just place this inside the machine and just sort of make sure you've got it all spread out kind of evenly. No dramas. We'll leave that string out there for the moment. And then we've got to put the hops in. So basically you've got, as I said before, each of the hop bags are labelled with a number. So you take each of these out and put them into these and then into the machine. Alright, so chase down a pair of scissors, get ready to open up each of these of the 4 hop additions, and you're putting them into each one of these little hop containers. All get in there, all empty. Shut the lid and then put it into the corresponding numbered hole. Right, so there we go, and they smell sensational. So the basic idea, I think, is the way this works is that each of these 4 wells has got water that will run through it at a certain point in time during the brew. So it knows that 10 minutes to go to whack the water through the first one, and then mix the water with the hops into the boiling chamber and boil up the beer at each specific time, just like you would when you're adding more hops into a hop stock, I suppose. Alrighty, so we've just done all the pre-brewing bits and pieces, so it's now just telling me to check the machine's calibrated. Now look, I did have a little bit of trouble in calibrating my machine, but I think that was more to do with the fact that I had some pretty dodgy kitchen scales. So I'm going to go out and buy some new ones, make sure they're all spot on, and I'll recalibrate the machine. So just fingers crossed today that the calibration's all okay, because I really want to get a brew down today. Check the hoses are connected, check. False bottoms in, check. Fermentables are in, check. Brewie bags in the mashing tank, check. And the hop cages are in the hop containers. So we are ready to go. So I'll just press start brewing, and we're off. And now it's going to start keeping me up to date on the stage of the brewing process and where it's at. So I'll shut the lid for a moment. We'll get some shots as it goes through the brewing process and see what happens. So you can see my water going up through the hose, through the filter, into the machine, and through the back. Spoon made of coffee, come back, it's 2% through. So the water is now in the tank there and being heated up to the perfect degrees to transfer over to the grains. So this is pretty cool. I just saw this, so I don't know if you can see that quite there, but you've got a bit of a summary of what's going on, and then you can press the next button to go to actions, and it tells you what it's doing. So it tells you the boiling tanks at 19.3, the mashing tank at 13.8 at the moment as it's heating up, and then gives you a bit of an overview of the process of what's going on. So heating up before mashing, and then it's going to do the mash and head on from there. So I think you can scroll up too. Oh yeah, look at that, it tells you everything that's going on. So that's pretty damn cool. Okay, so while I was away, the liquid got up to the required temperature and has transferred itself over to mix in with the grains, and I can tell you it smells great. You can see where the white line is. That's currently going through the mash still in that dark orange colour. Then the lighter sort of orange colour is when it starts to sparge, and then green is the boil. So progressing well and smelling great for now. So you can see that Brewie is now sparging, and I'm not meant to touch the machine, so I don't want to open up any of these things here, but you can see there's movement in there, which was the side that normally had the water in it. So it's now got the mashed in liquid coming through from one side to the other. I wonder if we can take a tiny little peek in here. You can see the water's starting to drain off the liquid, off the grains there. And if we tiny little peek in here, there you can see the liquid's coming through to this side. So next step, rocking and rolling. Alrighty, so I'm back to check on Brewie again now, and 64% of its way through the whole brew cycle now. What it's now doing, it has moved all of the wort into the left-hand side chamber, where it's starting to heat the wort up, so I can bring it to a boil and start to do its hop additions. Now look, one of the reasons why I got Brewie is because you can actually leave it to do its thing and walk away and do other stuff, which is great when you're a little bit time poor, when you've got family, kids, work, all that sort of stuff. Now as it happens, I've got to go to a meeting in a minute, and so I'm going to have to leave Brewie to do its thing. So by the time I get back, it should be ready to drain the wort into the fermenter, and I'll pitch the yeast and we'll start to create some beer. Alrighty, so I just got home from my meeting and came home to find that Brewie has completed the final step of cooling the wort down to the temperature we need to be able to pitch the yeast. So you can see it's had a little bit of boil over the top. Supposed to be, as to be expected, so just a bit of a wipe off for that. But on the front of it, it also says that brewing is all done. So happy days. Let's drain the thing and we'll pitch the yeast. Alrighty, so there we've got our fermenter ready to take the wort out of where it's been stored at the moment. You can see it's all finished. I've checked the temperature with my little gauge here. Tells me that we're down under 21 degrees, so that's great. So all we're going to do is tell Brewie that we are done. And now it tells me to prepare for draining, which I have done. As I said before, I've got that tube going down through there. Press done. There we go. You can see the wort's now nicely draining out of the Brewie and into my sanitised fermenter. Happy days. Late afternoon sun now. The beer looks pretty nice colour there in the sample tube. I took a bit of a reading here of the hydrometer, 1.040 as my original gravity. So that means for a final gravity, I need about 1.009 so that I can reach my ABV of 4.1% for this beer. Alrighty, time to sprinkle the yeast over the top of the beer now. Beautiful US 05 for this American brown ale that I'm making, and so there you go, that's it. Brew day done and dusted. Just got to rock that yeast a little bit to aerate that wort a little bit, and then I'll go and put it in a nice cool spot for it to work its magic. Look, first impression of the brewery, sensational really. Had a few little teething problems here and there. Probably got a little bit of cleanup, more than I expected to do here, but that's all cool. It was pretty easy to use. Hopefully this recipe turns out nice. But look, if you like what I'm doing here, like and subscribe to my videos, share them with a friend, and check back again soon on beerhealer.com or one of my social media platforms, and I'll be making some more beers with the Brewie, and I'll share them with you. So anyway, until we talk again in the Beer Healer shed or wherever, cheers to great beers.